Okay, we are going to draw a skirt block, which is based on the Winifred Aldridge pattern cutting book, page 24. So we're going to first of all draw our grid, so our canvas that we're going to draw our skirt block on. So just click on rectangle, and our width is just half your hip measurement plus 1.5. So that for me is 53.5 centimeters, so it's 535 millimeters. And then for the height, I've got 77, so that will be 770. And that's going to be our basic rectangle. And it's quite good because we can place it on our avatar on the 2D reflection to just get a rough idea. And as you can see, because that's going to be our front block and our back block, but it gives you a good idea for the length. So you can see that the length is going to be like over the knee. Okay, so it gives you a good idea already. Right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mark in waist to hip. So waist to hip, click on that there, and then we're going to right click on that. We're going to click on this line, right click it, and we're going to split it. And the length of line 1 is going to be your waist to your hip. So that's 21.6 centimeters, so 216 millimeters. Like so. So that is our waist to hip. And again, if you want to kind of just slide that along. There we go, waist to hip. Okay. And then we want to kind of extend that line across. So click on that point. We want a perpendicular internal line on the y-axis. Just leave that as is. And then we've got our line going across. So this here, this line here, all the way down here, that's our centre back. This is our centre front, and this is our hip line. Now we're going to split this line, or split this line here up here, so that we can get our front block and our back block. So that line is going to be split, and it's going to be quarter the hip measurement plus 1.5, which is the ease, and then we're going to square down right to the bottom. So I've previously done my measurements, so quarter of the hip plus 1.5 for me is 27.5. So just the same as what I did before. Split line. So that's going to be 275 for me. Like so. That's that line there. And then exact same as before. We're going to add a perpendicular internal line, but this time it's going to be the x-axis. And that is our canvas done. Okay. So that is going to be half of the front and half of the back for our skirt block. Okay, so next we're going to work on the back section. We're going to add in the 2 darts and the curve, and then we're going to work on the front section. Okay, now we're going to mark the waist on the back and on the front. So from the back, the measurement we're looking for is quarter waist plus 4 centimeters. Okay, so that's on the back. So again, we come to edit pattern tool, right click, split line, and then on the second part of the line we have the measurement I've got here is 24 centimeters, so that'll be 240 millimeters, and click OK. Edit, undo. Okay, so we're going to split this line. And we want this line here, so line 1, to be 24 centimeters. So that is a quarter of the waist plus 4 centimeters. So 24 centimeters, which is 240 millimeters. Like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same on the front. So we're going to split the line. And this time, this line here, we're actually going to look at line 2. And line 2, if you look at the front, quarter waist plus 2.5 this time for the front. And that is 22.25. So in millimetres, that is 222.5. Okay, so that says there. Now, the pattern book, the Williford Aldridge book, tells us to raise this point by 1.25. So again, we're still in Edit Pattern Tool. Clicking the point, and we're just going to raise it up. Now let's go in here slightly, and I want to raise it up by 1.25, so that's 12.5. Like so. Then we're going to do the same here. There we go, Edit Pattern Tool. I'm just going to raise this up by 1.25. And I'm just scrolling the mouse key. So 1.25, so 12.5. Perfect. And scroll back again. There we go. And then we're just going to go back to Edit Pattern Tool again. And we're just going to draw a line. No, sorry, we're going to go to here. We're going to have an internal line. And it's going to go from here. Just at the hip line. And then, so we're now going to draw a straight line. Internal line. From that point that's raised 1.25 to the hip line. This point here, double click. And then we're going to do the exact same on the other side. Here, double click on the hip line, like so. And then we're going to back to Edit Pattern Tool. I'm going to click on that line, hold Shift, click on that line. Just that again, Shift. And then we're going to cut that dart out. And then we're just going to select it, select Pattern Tool and delete. Okay. And now what we want to do is, again, select Pattern, click on this line and go to Cut. And now we've got two separate pieces. We've got the back of the skirt and we've got the front of the skirt. So what we need to now do is we need to add in the hip curve and we need to add in 2 darts at the back and 1 dart at the front. First of all, look at creating a curve at the waistline. Okay, so let's get a curve at the waistline. So in here, we're going to do Edit Curve. We're going to click on this line and we're just going to bring it down slightly. And we're going to do the same here. That's maybe a bit much. Yeah. Okay, now we want to curve this. This time we need a curve point because we're going to curve it in the middle. So we need to find the middle approximately. Okay, and then we're going to bring it out just by 0.5. Which for us will be 5. Perfect. And we're going to do the same here. Yeah, perfect. By 5. Now we're going to create, let me just see this curve. Edit curvature. Now we're going to add in the darts. Okay, so now we're going to add in the darts. So on the back, we need to split this line into 3. Split. Uniform split. 3 sections. And then we have the positions for the 2 darts. So we're going to go to add dart. And the width of this dart is 14. The length is 14 centimeters. The width is 2 centimeters. So it's 20, and the length is 140. Uncap that. First one. Right click. So easy. Add dart. And this time the width is the same, but its length is 13. Like so. And then for here, it's actually like a third. So it's positioned like kind of there. Let me just check my notes. Yeah, 1/3. So then that's there. And then right click, add dart, and the total width of that dart is 2.5, so it's 25. And its length is 12 centimeters. Next one. Oops, I forgot to. So split line. Oops, back to here. Right click, split, and it's a third the way along this time. So just 33%. From the front. There we go. And then we're going to insert dart. And the width is 25. And the length is 12. There we go. And that's our 3 darts. And now what we need to do is we need to add symmetry. So that's the front and the back. So that's the back skirt block and that's the front skirt block. And as you can see, it only takes literally 10 minutes. Okay, so we need to make these symmetrical. So we have options here. I'm going to use symmetric pattern with sewing because that means what I do to one side, it happens to the other. I'm going to do the same with this one. But normally with the skirt, my front block, I normally sew them together. So again, edit pattern, click on that. I'm going to click on that, I'm going to hold shift, click on that line, right click, and I'm going to merge. So that's me got my front skirt block, and that's my back skirt block. Let's just put it on and see what it looks like. There we go. If anything, it might have too much ease in it. We'll see when we go to the fitting. So that's the beginning of our skirt block. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to walk the pattern to make sure our seam are the same lengths. So just go to walk the pattern. Well, here it is, walk the pattern. At that point, we're going to check these seams. all the way down. Now that's a really good place to have a notch. So right click, both patterns please. And look at that, absolutely perfect. Move pattern to intersection. And then we can see, is it really exact? Is it really? And as you can see, it's a little bit out. So then we're going to edit it. And then it's exact. So then we know that those lines meet. Okay, and the changes I've made there will be made to these two lines as well. So that's us check that. Let's move it back across. And the next thing we want to do is our seam allowance. So select everything and then go to seam allowance. And so, and then we'll go to our property and it is 10. So for example, here and here, you might want to change it to 3 centimeters. And the same in the back of the skirt. Change it to 30. And then up here on the darts, you want to change it to this one. And then here. And that's what's created the seam allowance. Oh, we do not want a seam allowance. We don't have one there. Perfect. So that's our seam allowance done. We've notched the pattern. We've got our darts in. So now we're ready, and you can view it with seam allowance on or seam allowance off. Here. Okay. Seam allowance, no seam allowance. Okay, so probably no seam allowance while we fit the garment. So the next video is on fitting the garment. See if this skirt actually fits the avatar, and also I'm going to change the length of it, and then we're going to add I think something at the bottom of it. I think make it more interesting. Okay.